Hey guys, Shadney back with another process video. Today we are going to do one with some mixed media on the background here. So I started out with this Dina Wakley clear gesso, and I just did it all over the entire page using a palette knife. And then once that was completely dry, I used the Ranger texture paste in transparent matte, and I used that just to go through this Harry Potter stencil. I did it on the top right and then the bottom left of where my photo strip is going to go. This, I forgot to mention, was the Escura Studio. Is that what it's called? It is a Harry Potter themed paper, but I didn't use, honestly, originally I bought it for the other side so I could fussy cut the little pieces out, but this side was so pretty, so I just used this side instead. And so, sorry, my brain is not all right here. I used a lot of different mists and sprays, so I'm trying to show you the different ones as I go, but some of them I think I don't remember to. But I started out with it's just the ink spray, not the shimmer spray, for Dilutions in white linen, and that is what I started the whole thing out with. I just spritzed that in the background and then started adding these metallic colors over the top of it. I do a little bit of actual misting, and then a lot of it I just do like splatters over it. I went in to soak some of this up because I thought maybe it would help some of those images stand out a little better, but then it just wasn't right. So we just keep going. We just keep adding and splattering and misting, and I'll add some more white in just a second. And then, well, yeah, it just, I wasn't really sure what I was going for at the time. I just wanted to, in my head, I was going to have it darker so that those images from the texture paste would really stand out, but it's not really, I didn't really like it whenever it would get darker, so I kind of stopped doing that. And then I just went with just adding all the metallic. So most of that white background is the ink, and not like the straight ink. It's not the shimmer ink, but I do go in, I don't think I've done it yet, but I do go in and add shimmer ink, I think now. So I soaked up a bunch of the liquid. Yeah, that's the shimmer ink on the left there that I just set down. I soaked up a bunch of the liquid so that it wasn't, well, one, so it wouldn't take forever to dry, but there was just so much liquid on it that anything I added over top of that, it was just blending together, so you weren't getting like specific colors or anything or variation. So once I had a lot of that soaked up where the photo was, where the photo's going is what that block is right there that I penciled in. Then whenever I'm adding splatters now, you can see them a little better. It does end up, once it's dry, a little more muted, but not a whole lot. Then I go in, so this is the Nuvo Mica Mist. I've got the Dilution shimmer sprays. I've got that darker brown color is a Tim Holtz Ranger shimmer mist. I don't know what it's called though. And then the regular white ink spray, and then this is the shimmer white ink spray, and that the shimmer white ink spray is my favorite just in general, just because whenever you splatter it, it's not super heavy white, but it's just enough to give you that nice shimmer feel. And I definitely need to get another bottle because I'm like halfway on this one. So yeah, I've used it way too much. So fast forward, we let this dry, and then honestly I went through after it was completely dry and I added some Heidi Swap gold color shine over the top of it, and that just added that extra little pop of gold. And then once that was mostly dry, like it's still a little wet while I'm dealing with it right here, but once it was mostly dry, then we're going to start adding on top of it. So the photos I have here are 4 photos of India, and the way I did it, I used the print to size app on my phone to print my photos, and I did it on an 8.5 by 11 and then lined them up, and so that once it was printed, I just trimmed around the outside and made it look like it was a photo strip. So that's what I did. I added some paper layers in here, and then I added some doilies. I did ink all the edges as I was going with the paper layers, and then I have some foam tape, fun foam on the very back layer just to pop it up just a little bit. I am using score tape mostly, but because we do have gesso and texture paste on this background, I add some extra adhesive, some liquid adhesive, just to help it stay down. My hands were not super clean, so that's why you can see I had my sweatshirt pulled down over my hands while I pressed on the photo to make sure I didn't get my sticky gross fingerprints all over it. I also used gold photo corners from the shop on the photo strip as well, and I just did it on the outside corners, not corners for every single picture, just the outside corners. So and the gold doilies are from the shop as well, so I was just trying to bring some of that metallic out in this. I use a lot of wood veneer on this, and I know like especially on my design team, several of the ladies have colored their wood veneer, and it looks really good. I just personally prefer, like, I just like the look of the wood. It sounds dumb, but that's just, I don't know. I just like the look of the wood. So there's a lot of wood veneer on this one, just because I don't have a whole lot of photos that I'll use Harry Potter stuff for. So I was using a lot of my Harry Potter pieces while I'm using my doing these photos of India dressed as Hermione. So it kind of worked out perfectly. This is the Wizard extra large rainbow, and so what I've done is sorry, on every single piece of the rainbow, I went ahead off camera and added Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of them, and then now I'm using my liquid adhesive to add those to the paper. So the Stampin' Dimensionals will give it a little bit of texture, not texture, dimension, just to help it stand out a little bit, just as its own element or whatever. But the other thing is that with a piece this big, like a piece of wood veneer this big, and because of the different textures on the background of the paper, because it's overlapping the photo there and the photos on several layers of cardstock and the doily and fun foam and all that, so it kind of helps like level that out so that it lays flatter a little bit better. And again, I'm using the Nuvo deluxe adhesive to adhere. Usually Stampin' Dimensionals are just fine, they're super sticky, so they hold down whatever, but because of the gesso on the background and the texture paste and all the mixed media, we are using extra adhesive just to make sure it stays down. So once that is all down, I'm going to sit there and hold it for a second, and then I'm trying to decide on the title. So the title down here is, it just says magic, and I have these Heidi Swap little titles from, I mean, they're old, I'm not sure exactly. Actually, I could probably look it up. They're right here. Let me see. They are from 2014. And I had ordered them off of Peachy Cheap like a couple years back. Like 2 years ago maybe. And I haven't used them. But, you know, you just have to have stuff and then you save it and hoard it and can't use it. So I'm trying to use these just more often in general, but also especially on the layouts here. So, yeah, I used the word fun, and then I again using fun foam. I mean, not fun foam. Blah blah blah. Liquid adhesive to help adhere that down to the layout. It's not on like the gesso and stuff, but it doesn't have a whole lot. I mean, it's not super sticky or anything, so we're just adding it just to be safe. I'm going to go in with the rest of these black stars from this sheet and then add those around as well. Oh, and okay, so these are the wizard, what are they called? Wizard emoji icons or something like that. And it's like little Harry Potter faces, but you know, they're like the emojis, so they have all the different faces. But I thought this was they would be kind of cute to use because the photos of India are her making like different faces and stuff. So we're going to add those, and again, using Stampin' Dimensionals. These I won't use a lot of extra adhesive or anything behind them because they're not being stuck to the gesso and the mixed media background. They're just being stuck to the photo and the cardstock layers right there. And also because I don't know if you know this, but anytime you stick anything on top of a photo, like the photo paper, it adheres so well that you like never have to add extra adhesive. So so I'm just sticking those down, and I'm kind of what's it called when you like up and down and up and down? There's a word for it. I keep wanting to say scatter, and that's not the right word. There's a different word I'm looking for that I don't have. Anyways, it doesn't matter. And then I just add some of those, and then that will be all the wood veneer. It is a lot of wood veneer on here, but you know, that's kind of my thing, so it's totally cool. The rest is just going to be little sprinkly bits mixed around. I'm using a lot of stars on these layouts because, you know, stars are magical and all that. So, but these are Felicity Jane chipboard stars. I have several packages of these because I bought them on clearance for way cheap. So they might still have them in the shop. I'm not really sure. I haven't been on their website in a long time. I've been trying not to spend money. So I've just not been getting on anybody's website because if I get on, then I just have to spend money. So I just don't get on there. So I'm not really sure what's current on there right now, but they are from Felicity Jane from a while back. So I'm just using the black and white ones on this layout. And I really love the colors, but we did bright and fun and happy colors on the last layout. This one is going to be more neutral kind of colors. And then I have one that's like almost completely pink, and then one that's very traditional, like Harry Potter kind of color, like the burgundy and yellow and gold. So yeah, I'm just adding these around and building these little kind of clusters, but they're just sprinkled around, just having all this magic. I mostly on that right where the all the texture paste is done, and there's like a lot of mixed media there, I leave most of that. I do add plenty of these embellishments around, but I do leave most of that so that it doesn't like cover it all up, so you can still see it if you want to. In real life, you can see it a little better, I think, but I mean, you can see it pretty well on here. It's just whenever you're in real life, you can, like, you know, tilt your head a little bit and you can see that shimmer and that texture, so it's really nice. The page did curl up quite a bit whenever even after this, whenever it like continued to dry, but it's not that bad. And I just laid the other layouts on top of it, actually. Like, I mean, after everything was dry, not like while everything was wet, but after everything was dry, I just laid all the layouts on top of each other, on top of this one at the bottom, and it helped flatten it out pretty well. It will go completely flat like a normal flat whenever I put it in a page protector, but it just hasn't happened. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like the world's worst about not putting my layouts away. Like I have stacks of layouts that are just in different places. Like I have some shelves out in the living room that have that hold most of my layouts, and then I have like 2 little stacks in here. I used to have like a whole shelf in here before I moved my craft room and then moved it back. I had an entire shelf that I had so that I could just lay them, not lay them, but like so that they were standing, but like they were like filed. Yeah, I probably need to do that again, because that's honestly better for your layouts than laying them flat, but I just don't have space right now. There's just so much stuff. I've got to deal with all of this, but it's just too much. Hopefully this summer we're going to get some stuff done, me and India. We'll see, because, you know, she always likes to help, and that adds extra everything to everything. So we'll see if that anything actually gets done. I also kind of want to move her bed, like just turn it the opposite direction, but I don't know. I'm not sure yet. If y'all don't know, I'm ADHD, and it's mostly mental. It's not like the physical, like I'm not running around like a crazy person. It's all like internal, so I'm just making myself crazy and not everybody else usually. But I get these ideas in my head and then I can't get it out until it happens. And yeah, so I don't know that her bed needs to be moved, but now it's in my head and I just need to do it. So, you know how I had it in my head that I needed to move my craft room to the living room, you know, that happened, and that lasted for like a year and a half, and then I moved it back. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's fine. So I'm adding just all sorts of embellishments on here. Normally if I'm doing a voiceover, I'll fast forward, but I was keeping it at regular speed because of all that was happening with the mixed media and everything at the beginning, so that I'd have time to explain, and now it's kind of boring. But, you know, I'm keeping you entertained with all the fun stories of my mental health. And so we're just adding all sorts. I pulled out a lot of gold, for not just for this layout. There's some for this layout, but most of it I pulled out for this other layout that I'm doing later. The one with like the more traditional colors. It's very, very sparkly and sprinkly, and it's awesome. I really love how it turned out, but you'll see that later. I don't know if I'm doing that one next or doing that one last. So, but you'll see it in the next, at most like a week probably. So, I'm doing some tiny word stickers on here, or tiny phrase stickers, I guess. And these are from Pretty Little Studio. Pretty Little Studio is a really awesome, everything's print to order, like you order it and then it's printed and cut and done all the things at that time. But like they're tiny word stickers, and her little Tile Alpha stickers are my absolute favorite. I've like collected as many as I possibly could. Anytime I order from there, that's mostly what I'm ordering. The other cool thing about them is that you can do like if you like most of her papers, the pattern paper, you can have it printed as cardstock or vellum or on clear acetate, which is really cool. So you get a nice large variety of stuff like that. These little tiny rhinestone star gems are from Joann's, and is it Paper Lane? No, it's something Lane is their brand. Maybe it is Paper Lane. No, I don't remember, but anyways, it's whatever it is, it's their brand of their paper crafting stuff. And again, we're using the Nouveau liquid adhesive just to help stick a little bit better. As you can see in the package, even they're just not stuck very well, and I think that had to do with when I ordered them and stuff, because sorry, my throat is like super croupy today for some reason. Whenever I ordered them, it was like the summer, so I think they got too hot or something when they were in the mail, and then they got kind of all messed up. But yeah, we're just adding extra glue to help hold those down. So, and then that's pretty much it for this layout. Yeah, so all of the stuff from my shop is available in my shop, shadney.etsy.com. And if you have any questions or anything, please let me know. You're welcome to leave comments here, or you can message me through Etsy, especially if it's an Etsy related question. Message me through Etsy, and that kind of keeps everything together for me, and I can kind of mentally, that keeps me more in check. But you can also get me on Instagram. I usually don't answer if you get me on Facebook, because I just don't get on Facebook very much, but on here, on Instagram or Etsy are usually pretty easy ways to get me, or you can email me at shadneyscraps@yahoo.com. So here I'm going to go ahead and show you the close-ups of this page, and then yeah, we're all done. So thank you guys so much for watching. Come back in the next few days and you can see the next layout. We have 2 more to go with all these Harry Potter photos, and then we'll move on to spring. So have a wonderful day, guys. I hope you have fun, and happy scrapping. Bye.